Okay, I'm gonna do attempt number 3 or 4 for this recording. The first time I just stuttered a bunch, which I'm probably gonna do again because I couldn't help it all the other times that I was doing this. It's just a point of me recording because either I'm nervous or I'm just a stuttery person. I'm bad at talking. Yeah, I don't have like an issue with talking in front of audiences. I don't know. I'm bad at it. Or my family's in the background fucking chatting it up. Oh, oh yeah. And let's not mention my window is wide open because it is about 90 degrees in my bedroom and I have to keep it open. So I apologize if you hear those in the background and I am not recording this again. It's so aggravating. It kills me on the inside. I've had to pause my recording a few times during recordings. Like I've had to pause the actual recording so that you couldn't hear it, but I could hear it all, and it's just people in the background just being banshees because they're related to me. So why else would they be normal? What am I doing? If you hear my bed screeching, I'm sorry. So, like, okay, I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I'm sitting here and I'm trying to record a video, and instead of going off of all the good things I'm doing, like kind of talking nicely today, and having a semi deeper than normal voice today, I'm just going over all the bad things. Like, my window is fucking noisy as shit. My door keeps being knocked on by banshees that live downstairs. My fucking 20-something-year-old sister is living in my mom's basement. Fucking shit like that. And I'm just focusing on all the bad. I'm not focusing on the good. And I think that's the bad thing. God, fuck. I kind of knocked myself. Like, I kind of knocked myself off the edge a few days ago when I recorded that whole talking to this random guy on the internet named E that kind of left me after a while. I don't blame him. The reason he left was completely reasonable. The reason he left was so reasonable. Like the second time, the first time, I was just being a dick. Like, I wasn't... Okay, how do I explain this? Give me a sec so I can just, like, grasp the fact that I'm telling this to the internet. Fuck. I was being... Not that I was being rude. I just realized I can soften this as much as I want because he's never going to find this video. No one's going to find these videos. Unless I show this to someone, which I probably did if you're watching. I'm never going to show this to anybody. It just does... I don't get this. Why does the world do this to me? I just don't get it. Like, hell, I'm 12 years old, and I go by Female Summers on the internet. Actually, I should probably go over a little bit of, like, discretion of what that name means. I dated this guy. His name was, like, Kai C. freaking, like, Summers. And we hung out over the internet, and we were like Xbox buddies. And we had fun. We were good friends, and everything was happy, and everything was great. But just after a while, it kind of just it got bad. And the relationship, like, we formed a dating relationship, and it just kind of went south after a while. Everything was sad and everybody was lonely. He explained to me afterwards that he used me to get out of depression, which I wouldn't necessarily use. Like, I wouldn't use the word using that much in that kind of sentence. But it's still, I don't know. He used using, so I'm just going to use that. Use, fuck. But I call, like, he was original Summers. He was the cool kid. He was Kai C. Summers. Summers was supposed to be the last name. C was supposed to stand for something in the middle. And Kai was supposed to be his first name. It wasn't his actual name. And no, I'm not making this name up. I'm not trying to hide his identity. I don't give a shit. Seriously, look him up on fucking, look him up on Xbox. Just do that. Fucking send him hate because he's mean to me. It's Kai C. Summers. Like my name. Then he went by, I changed his name to Male Summers after a while. And then I went by Female Summers because I was basically, like, he said I was him, but female. So it's like, I don't know. You argue with a better nickname than that. Then go ahead. Do what the fuck you need. I don't know if this is ever going to reach someone else's ears. I'm a 12-year-old on the internet that's basically panicking. I'm just waiting for someone to, like, message me or email me and just be like, hey, I saw your video. I'm fucking 10 and I lay in my bed and I plug my headphones in so I can hear you fucking chat about your life. I'm not some inspirational child. I'm some messed up child. People say over and over repetitively that I'm like some kind of prodigy, which I will not argue. I am a cool kid and I do the smarts daily. But it's like, why prodigy? My mom got really excited because my English teacher, not to brag, in 6th grade called me a prodigy. And that was like the first time. And I sent him a writing piece. And it was really good. And he really liked it. And I was like, yep, this is the thing. He was like, oh my God, he was blowing up over it. He took the entire weekend to check if it was on the internet because he wanted to make sure I didn't plagiarize it. And it's like, I don't know. I think that small piece of just someone indulging themselves in something I wrote is kind of just like knocking me over the edge of where it's okay for me to be happy. I think our generation is just really fucked up. None of us can be happy anymore. It's just sad. I get the whole mental disabilities are now kind of funny and how everything is kind of like, it's better. Why did I do that? It's like better to be mentally distraught than be happy. And I'm like, I don't get that anymore. I had a buddy, his name was Optional. He was the guy that I did my first video on, which was pretty sad. Check that video out. I don't know. I don't care. And he was great. He was always happy all the time. That guy was when I first met him, he hasn't really changed as much as my other friends have, but he was a mess and still is a mess. He's just really happy. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. He's just like, oh yeah, be happy, dude. I'm like, I can't. Help. I don't get it. Like, he's just happy all the time. I kind of started to understand what he meant after a while because he always used to say that one of his biggest pains was just like talking to someone that you really care for and then learning afterwards that they legit want to take their life. Like, I don't get it through your head. I'm not like suicidal that much. Emphasis on that much. But I am like, I'm fine. I'm fine for now. I'm sure I'll make a video one night where I'm literally holding a blade up to my throat, like threatening suicide to the internet of like two viewers. But for now, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I am fine. I'm okay. I think. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'll be fine. Just keep saying it. I'll be fine. But like I was saying, I finally got what he meant by it's one of the biggest pains in the world because I had this guy. His name was like Sting. That's what his gamer tag was. A lot of my friends actually revert over the internet, so that's just yeah. Get that through your head. The fact that I base off the internet. I don't have many friends in real life, which makes sense because they can see my face. Ha! I'm ugly. Take that in internet. So like. This guy is Sting. He had like schizophrenia, which I've experienced like symptoms of, but not necessarily straight on. I had a voice in my head for a while, but that was just, I don't know, maybe it was just me being subconsciously scared or something like that. I don't know. Sting was happy for most part. He seemed to be. Mostly because he was high on so many different fucking he was high on a lot of medications, mostly for, I think, anxiety. I think he had like ADHD as well. Mostly just antidepressants, which I think he took like 2 in the morning, 2 at night. Something like that. The guy was really cool. I think I still have him on my friends list. And which is pretty selective. If you actually have me, like if you actually have yourself on my friends list, you should be happy. You're one of the good ones. I don't have a lot of people that I select myself to. I have around 350 something followers probably, which is people who have added me. But I don't have many friends. Like I have about like 4 on my spare. And on my main, it's about like maybe 8, probably. Just under 8, maybe. But yeah. I'm not the kind of person to trick for follow backs, but whatever. I don't care. But yeah. I tell people a lot that I'm 12 or that I'm under the age of 13. They just don't get it. It's like they just don't understand it. They just don't get it. Like they have an issue with understanding how old I am because of how I act, which is fine. Maybe I'm just flaunting at this point. I don't know. I'm worried that if I wake up one day and I'm just going to be like 14, 15, 16, 17, or 18, I'll just be sitting there and I'll be like, whoa. It was just a phase. Because what if I wake up one day and I'm just thinking that everything that I've done now, leading up to this moment, right now, at this point of time, was all just a phase. And that it was dumb. And I shouldn't have sat there on the internet exposing who I was. I shouldn't have sat there and told everybody that I was not okay. I don't know. But thanks, I guess, if you made it this long. Hell, anyone with the kind of time to listen to a 12-year-old rant about why her life sucks and everybody else has it great. That's a trooper right there, I'll tell you that. Ugh. Well, adios. If anybody else who's watching this doesn't have someone that tells them every once in a while that they love them, then hell, I'll give you what I really needed. I love you. Good night.